You have to ask yourself in your heart of hearts, is this Knicks group, as is, going to be able to win an NBA championship? Not just get through the Eastern Conference. Can they beat OKC? Can they beat Denver when Jokic gets back? I don't think they can. I think with Giannis, it gives you a much better shot. Therefore, you got to do it.
I've seen enough. I saw enough last year knowing that Towns and Brunson together will never win an NBA championship. So I don't care who has to go outside of Brunson himself. You got to take the chance because I know definitively this team ain't it. Are there certain guys that prefer to keep than others? Of course. But it's Giannis. Figure it out later. Go get him. Pair him with Brunson. And that would be your best chance to go win a championship.
All right, so
There's a lot of smoke around Cat as far as a fit moving forward in New York.
I would just say once. I would go back to the most important thing Jim Dolan said. They have to make the finals and they should win. If that's the standard, if you can get Giannis Antetokounmpo, you're going to try to do it. I'm setting the rest of it to the side, and if they could get Giannis Antetokounmpo, they're going to do it.
All right, boys, in today's video, we're going to be talking about Giannis to the Knicks. I don't want to make it seem like I'm just doing this for clicks or anything. I actually do want Giannis in New York, and I have wanted him here since last summer, of course, when he said that he'd love to win a championship in New York because it's been so long. When you take a look at the rest of the league, you've got the Heat, the Timberwolves, and the Warriors all in on Giannis. And a lot of people are making it seem like the Knicks don't have an enticing offer, but here's an offer that more than likely the Heat are going to set in to the Bucks for Giannis. So Tyler Hero, Yokohonis, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, a 2030 and 2032 first-round pick, and Ware, the big, of course, number 7 from Miami. Like that's not a crazy offer. That's nowhere remotely close to being enough for Giannis. So what it comes down to is, well, what can the Knicks offer? And the Knicks, they have one first-round pick technically tradable. If they wait until the summer, they'd have 2, but the Wizards, we don't even know if that's going to convey. Like, I highly doubt it will. It's protected 1 through 8. The Knicks have Mikal Bridges, OG Anunoby, Deuce McBride, Karl-Anthony Towns. I don't think the Knicks would trade OG, because even if the Knicks did get Giannis and they put OG in the package, I don't think we'd be able to win. And it's not just because OG was awesome the past couple of games, but we know who OG is. He hits clutch shots. He attacks the basket. He's a great defender. He's one of the best defenders in the league, man. I mean, the Knicks signed him to a franchise record contract for a reason. They've never handed out more money to a player. Like, the Knicks cannot trade OG. Mikal Bridges was 3 of 16, and then last night could not miss. Literally could not miss. I mean, Mikal was on one. To this point, it's looking like the Knicks are honestly going to have Giannis and his team push for New York, because the most I'd be willing to give up for Giannis, and Giannis is an all-time great, but the Knicks, the way they're constructed, they're not constructed to get Giannis. They're constructed to kind of leave it as it is. I would do Cat, Deuce McBride, and Mikal Bridges. That's a lot, but man, for Bobby Portis and Giannis, I would do that trade. And you'd probably have to get Thanasis. The Knicks currently have 14 guys on their roster, so they don't have a lot of wiggle room. So basically, if the Knicks trade for 3 guys, they kind of would have to bring back 3 guys, and they'd have to be sending more money than they're taking in because of the CBA. I would do that. Losing Deuce would be devastating, but Bobby Portis is a very good role player, probably just as good as Deuce, if I'm being honest with you, and adds a little bit more size. Mikal, it's essentially Deuce for Bobby Portis, and then Mikal and Cat for Giannis. Now, of course, there would have to be another team in on this, I believe. Mikal would probably end up going somewhere else, and honestly, I don't even know if Cat and Mikal would go to the Bucks is the thing, though, because they want young players and picks, and if the Bucks trade Giannis, they don't want to win games by getting Cat and Mikal, because they would win enough games to cost them. Yeah, my bad about that, guys. Basically, what I was saying before my mic cut out is that the Bucks, they're not going to trade Giannis and then hope to get a great pick to just have Mikal and Cat win them games. So I don't know exactly who would go to Milwaukee. Maybe they would kind of just take, but like they have Miles Turner. See, this is why it's very difficult for the Knicks to make a trade with the Bucks, because they're sending them veterans like championship ready to go pieces, and I don't think that's what they necessarily want. But Giannis has a lot of leverage. He doesn't have all the leverage because the Bucks don't have to trade him. They can wait till the offseason if they want, and until like the Heat have a couple more picks to give them. But I'm looking at Giannis, and I think what it's going to have to come down to is him just forcing his way to the Knicks. And I'm not saying he has to say only trade me to the Knicks, but he's got to make a push for it. And then to that point, it's kind of like what the Brooklyn Nets did when they got James Harden is they took the most they could get out of the Rockets. They got picks. They got a couple players. Like Oladipo may or may not have been in that. I don't really remember exactly. It was like 6 years ago to this point. But I think the Knicks could just say, here's as many picks as we have, some swaps. Here's Mikal, here's Cat, and let's kind of just get this over with. The Knicks absolutely, like the video alluded to in the beginning, they are going to make a push for Giannis. Ian Begley's reported that the Heat, the Knicks are making a push for Giannis. It just kind of, it seems very unrealistic that this will happen before the February 5th trade deadline. Giannis hasn't exactly requested a trade. I mean, I think we can kind of all agree that he wants out of Milwaukee, he wants to compete for a second championship, but he hasn't gone to management and said that, hey, I'd like to request a trade. And that honestly is hurting the Knicks. Because if Giannis did just say, breaking Giannis, like from Shams breaking news, Giannis Antetokounmpo has requested a trade from the Milwaukee Bucks. And all of a sudden, the Knicks get even more leverage. Giannis gets even more leverage, but he hasn't done that. And I don't blame Giannis because he's a loyal guy and he'd love to stay in Milwaukee, but they're just kind of wasting his prime to this point. Like the Warriors got a championship, of course, when they had Jordan Poole, Dre, and they had Steph Curry, but like it doesn't seem like the Bucks are even remotely close to that. But the Bucks did bring in Miles Turner, and maybe they'll make a move at the deadline to help Giannis. But the Bucks are behind the Hornets at this point. Hornets are playing good basketball, but it seems like the Bucks are just kind of so far back they're not going to be able to overcome this. And I do think it's in their best interest to trade Giannis. I just don't see why they would trade him right now. I know Knicks fans are going to be like, they should trade him right now, but if they wait, they get even more draft capital from whether it be the Knicks or the Heat. And you look at, like I said earlier, guys, the trade for the Heat. I mean, I don't think it's the craziest trade in the world, but if you had, oh my God, yeah, they'd have to Terry Rozier's large expiring contract plus flexibility to take on. Yeah, I mean, if they add in 2 picks, that all of a sudden that looks a lot better. But the best player you're getting back for Giannis is Tyler Hero. I mean, no disrespect to Tyler Hero. I mean, that dude can hoop, but like that's kind of crazy if I'm being real with you. That's absolutely crazy. And then, like, who would the Timberwolves be giving up? Who would the Warriors be giving up? Warriors have Jonathan Kuminga, like Podziemski, Pods. I mean, they just don't have much. And the Knicks, they have, honestly, enough. I mean, they've got Mikal, Deuce, and Cat. But I don't think the Bucks would want those guys. They'd want just, like, a young kind of cornerstone to build around and then some draft capital and then salary fillers. The Knicks they're not constructed to be able to do that.
All right, guys, my mic is pissing me off, so I'm just going to use my face for the last part of the video. Basically, what I'm saying is that Giannis has leverage in the sense of kind of where he goes. Like, he can give them a certain amount of teams. He brought them a championship, so of course they're going to show some love to him. But you've got, like, the Wolves reported that Giannis is interested in the Knicks, the Heat. I think that the Warriors, I mean, I don't know why Giannis wouldn't want to play with Steph. He'd absolutely have a chance to have a championship if he's playing, even though Steph's like 37. I mean, it's Steph Curry. So I don't know, man. It's so tough. I feel like if Giannis gets traded, it's either the Heat or the Knicks. The Heat have more picks, and maybe he does go to the Heat, but we'll see, man. I don't know. I'm excited just thinking about it. But yeah, guys, I'm about to go to the gym and hoop, man. So appreciate y'all for watching. My name is Knicks Film Room, and until next time, peace.